I never locked it after you left that afternoon. The latch stayed loose, the hinges quiet in the moon. Wind slips through the cracks sometimes and rattles the frame, like it's testing if I'm ready to call your name. I sweep the threshold clean, keep the welcome mat straight, pretend it's habit, not hope that won't evaporate. The porch light flickers on at dusk without me touching the switch, a small betrayal of the heart that still won't quit. I tell myself it's just a door, wood and brass and paint, but every creak in midnight feels like you might change your fate. The door's still open, letting in the cold and rain, letting out the warmth we built piece by piece in vain. I don't stand there waiting with my arms out wide, but I don't close it either, I leave it open wide. The door's still open, a quiet kind of prayer that maybe one day you walk back up the stair. Not begging, not broken, just honest in the space. The door's still open in case love finds its place. The keys still hang where you left them, on the hook by the hall. I pass them every morning, pretend I don't notice it all. Sometimes I sit on the steps when the neighborhood's asleep, watch headlights sweep the street like promises too deep. I don't cry anymore, the tears ran out last spring. Now it's just a steady ache the quiet hours bring. The house doesn't ask questions, doesn't judge the why, it just keeps the door ajar beneath indifferent sky. I could turn the bull tomorrow, seal the past inside, but something in me whispers there's still room for one more tide. The door's still open, waiting in the cold and rain, letting out the warmth we built piece by piece in vain. I don't stand there waiting with my arms out wide, but I don't close it either, I leave it open wide. The door's still open, a quiet kind of prayer that maybe one day you'll walk back up the stair. Not begging, not broken, just honest in the space. The door's still open in case love finds its place. Maybe you're somewhere warm, maybe you finally flee. Maybe the thought of this house doesn't cross your memory. I don't need you to return, don't need a grand repair, I just need to know I left the way back there. One small act of kindness to the love we used to be, by keeping the door open, not for you, but for me. The door's still open, not out of weakness, not out of chains, but because closing it felt more like giving up in pain. The door's still open when moors don't lay bright, carrying pieces of us that haven't met death. Sleep with Johnny, listening for the softest sound, the footsteps on no path, or maybe just the ground, settling into peace. The door's still open, and maybe that's enough. A small stubborn light when the world feels too rough. The door's still open for whatever comes next door. Still open, waiting quietly. another day. Coat over your arm, keys jingling soft as you turned away. I stood in the doorway, bare feet on cold tile floor, watching your shadow stretch long, then shorten, then no more. The door didn't slam, it closed with the gentlest click, like it knew I wasn't ready for anything quick. I could've run after, called your name through the street, but my legs forgot how to move, my voice forgot how to speak. I chose the stillness, chose the echo instead, chose the empty house over chasing what fled. I stayed behind, let the silence move in, let it fill every corner where your laughter had been. I stayed behind while you walked into light. I stayed behind, holding pieces of night. No chase, no fight, no desperate plea, just me and the quiet, learning how to be the one who remains when the other is free. I stayed behind, and it's killing me slowly. The coffee pot still hisses like it's waiting for two. I pour one cup, watch the steam rise and dissolve into blue. Your chair at the table keeps your shape from last week. I don't sit in it, afraid the warmth might leak. I water the plants you love, talk to them low, tell them you'll be back soon, even though I know the clock keeps ticking louder in the rooms we once shared. Each second a reminder of a love I never spared. I tell myself staying was strength, not defeat. But some nights the light tastes bittersweet. I stay behind, let the silence move in, let it fill every corner where your laughter had been. I stay behind while you walked into light. I stay behind, holding pieces of night. No chase, no fight, no desperate plea, just me and the crying, learning how to be the one who remains when the other is free. I stay behind, and it's killing me slowly. Maybe you think I didn't care enough to run. Maybe you think my stillness meant I was done. But staying was the hardest thing I've ever done, holding the space where we used to be one. I stayed because leaving felt like giving up first, because loving you cry it was better than cursed. I stayed behind, not because I'm sure, but because letting go felt more wrong than living with the wrong. I stay I'm the quiet, stay true. I got my finger on the edge of an old photograph last night, the one where your smile still looks looks like summer light. A thin red line appeared, slow and surprised, that the real her came from inside where the memory lies. I watched the drop fall onto the glossy print, mixing with the colors of a day we never spent. Now every time I close my eyes, the scene replays in red, a quiet hemorrhage of everything we said. I thought time would dry the wound, turn the vivid to gray, but memories bleed fresh every single day. Memories bleed slow and steady through the seams, staining every moment with the color of our dreams. They leak into the quiet when the world is fast asleep, a crimson reminder of the promises we couldn't keep. Memories bleed. God, I wish they clawed and scar. Wish the past would stop dripping from wherever we are. But every heartbeat pulls the thread, lets more color through. Memories bleed, and they're still bleeding you. The shirt you left behind still hangs in the closet's back. I pull it out sometimes when the loneliness attacks. Bury my face in the collar, breathe what's left of your skin, and feel the old ache open up again within. A single tear hits the fabric, darkens the thread, turns the memory liquid, turns the white to red. I fold it careful, place it back where it belongs, but the stain keeps spreading, silent, lifelong. I bandage the days with routine, with noise, with light. The midnight peels it off and lets the bleeding eye. Memories bleed slow and steady through the seas, staining every moment with the color of our dreams. They leak into the quiet when the world is fast asleep, a crimson reminder of the promises we couldn't keep. Memories bleed. God, I wish they clad a scar. Wish the past would stop dripping from wherever we are. But every heartbeat pulls the thread, lets more color through. Memories bleed, and they're still bleeding you. Maybe one day the flow will thin to a trickle, then dry. The rag will fade to rust beneath indifferent sky. I'll touch the old scars and feel only the raised line. No fresh sting, no sudden rush of what was mine. But until then, I carry the slow, steady drain, a part of transfusion of joy into pain. Memories bleed, not because we fought wrong, but because what we had was real enough to last this long. Memories bleed, and I let them, because stopping the bleed would mean stopping you. Memories bleed, softer now in the gray, not flooding, just seeping in their own quiet way. But I don't fight the drip anymore, I let it fall where it lands, a living testament. too small. Shadows stretch longer across the empty wall. I reach for my phone like it's still your number on speed. Scroll through the silence where your messages used to bleed. The bed feels wider than it did when you were here. I curl to your side, chase the ghost of your warmth disappear. Outside the city hums soft, indifferent to my ache, while inside my chest the same old questions wake. I tell the dark I'm fine, that tomorrow will mend, but midnight knows better. It brings you back again. Midnight regret, it creeps in like fog off the bay. Whispers every what if I pushed away. Every unsaid sorry, every almost goodbye. Every time I let pride win and didn't try. Midnight regret, it sits heavy on my lungs, steals the air I need till the morning comes. I lie here breathing shallow, staring at the ceiling fan, counting all the ways I lost you again and again. I replay the last night of your hand on the door, the way your voice cracked when you said no more. I could've grabbed your wrist, pulled you close, said stay. Instead I let the quiet win and watched you walk away. Now the pillow still holds the dent where your head would lie. I press my face there, breathing the faint goodbye. The streetlight cuts through blinds and thin accusing lines, illuminating every fault that used to be mine. I promise the stars all change when the sun comes up, but midnight just laughs. It's seen this come. Midnight regret, it creeps in like fog off the bay. Whispers every what if I pushed away. Every unsaid sorry, every almost goodbye. Every time I let pride win and didn't try. Midnight regret, this is heavy on my lungs, steals the air I need till the morning comes. I lie here breathing shallow, staring at the ceiling fan, counting all the ways I lost you again and again. Maybe you're sleeping easy somewhere far from this room. Maybe my name doesn't wake you at 2:30. Maybe you forgave the things I never forgave myself, while I'm here drowning in the stories on the shelf. I don't want you back, not the way that you were. I just want the version of me that didn't let you blow. Midnight regret, it's not loud, it's not cool, it's just the honest weight of loving someone and losing the duel. Midnight regret, softer now, but never quite gone. A quiet companion that sings the same song. I don't fight it anymore, I let it settle in, let it remind me where the real hurt begins. Midnight regret, maybe that's the cost of loving so completely. Some nights are just lost. Midnight regret, torchlight stayed on for 365 nights. A small yellow beacon burning through the quiet fights. I told myself you'd turn around at the end of the block, but the sound of your footsteps would break the ticking clock. But the streets stayed empty, the rain kept falling straight, and every dawn arrives without your weight on the gate. I left the key under the mat, like a promise unkept, hoping Monday you'd find it, but the night stayed slept. I practiced your name and whispers to the empty hole, waited for the echoed answer, and nothing at all. You never came back. No knock, no call, no sign. Just a slow realization that the ending was mine. The door stayed unlocked, the bed stayed half-made. A space card for someone who already faded. You never came back. In the silence, looked your face, roaring like a habit in every quiet place. I still leave the light on when the sky turns black, but deep down I know now you never came back. Your favorite mug sits on a shelf, rim stained with old coffee. I wash it sometimes and put it right back where it used to be. The plants you watered have grown wild and tall. They reach for the window like they're still waiting for your call. I walk the same route we used to take at dusk, past the bench where you kissed me once, now covered in rust. I half expect to see you sitting there, it took that smile small, but the bench stays empty, and I keep walking on. I told the stars I was fine, that I'd moved along, but they saw right through me. They knew I was wrong. You never came back. No knock, no call, no sign. Just a slow realization that the ending was mine. The door stayed unlocked, the bed stayed half-made. A space card for someone who already faded. You never came back. In the silence, looked your face, roaring like a habit in every quiet place. I still leave the light on when the sky turns black, but deep down I know now you never came back. None of you found. You never came back. Heavy light still burns, but nothing. It follows me home every evening when the streetlights flicker on, longer than my own outline, heavier than the dawn. I walk faster, turn corners sharp, try to lose it in the crowd, but regret's shadow stretches, silent, never loud. It wears your shape and profile, the tilt of your head when you smile, the way your hand used to reach before the distance grew wild. No footsteps, no voice, just the dark trailing behind. A constant reminder of the love I left undefined. I thought shadows needed light to exist at all, but this one grows in the absence, answers no call. Regret's shadow, it clings like smoke to skin, whispers every unsaid word I buried deep within. Every I should have, every if only it breathes. A quiet companion that never quite leaves. Regret's shadow, taller at dusk, thinner at noon, but always there waiting when the day turns to moon. I can't outrun it, can't outwait it, stay. Regret's shadow, carrying what I threw away. It sits across from me at the table when I eat alone. Near as the way you used to lean, cleanse the empty zone. I pour wine for two, watch the second glass stay full. The shadow lifts it in gesture, a cruel perfect pull. And night lies beside me on the mattress too. It takes the shape of your body, but colder inside. I trace its edges with trembling fingers in the dark, hoping to feel warmth, only finding the mark. I tell myself tomorrow I'll leave it at the door, but regret's shadow knows the truth. It's part of me more. Regret's shadow, it clings like smoke to skin, whispers every unsaid word I buried deep within. Every I should have, every if only it breathes. A quiet companion that never quite leaves. Regret's shadow, taller at dusk, thinner at noon, but always there waiting when the day turns to moon. I can't outrun it, can't outwait it, stay. Regret's shadow, carrying what I threw away. Maybe one day it shrinks to the size of a hand, the small soft outline I can finally understand. Maybe I'll learn to walk beside it and fight its way. Let it remind me gently of the choices I made. Not to punish, not to harm, just to witness what was, a silent witness to the love that once caused this long, quiet, trailing thing I call mine. Regret's shadow, perhaps in time it becomes a little. Regret's shadow, softer now in the gray, no chasing, just present in its own quiet way. No longer startles when I couch it in view, just rest like an old friend who knows what I've been through. Regret's shadow, still here when the lights go low, holding the pieces of the me you used to know. Regret's shadow, and maybe that's the cost of loving someone deeply. Some shadows never get lost. Regret's shadow, still walking, still regrets shadow. We left the story mid-sentence on a rainy afternoon. Half a laugh still hanging, half a promise coming soon. Your hand was on the door, not mine reaching for the air. Neither of us brave enough to finish what was there. The coffee cooled untouched, the record skipped on repeat. The groove we never broke because we couldn't take the heat. I watched the rain streak down the glass like tears we never cried, and wondered if you'd ever come back to the chapter we denied. We didn't fight to end, it didn't burn the final page. Just let the ink run dry inside a quiet open cage. Unfinished us, a book with pages torn away, a melody that lingers but never learns to stay. No last line written, no the end in black and white. Just echoes in the margins where we lost the light. Unfinished us, the story that won't close. I have heard a whisper, only heartbreak knows. I still turn back to chapter where you walk down slow, hoping one day the ending finds its way to show. Unfinished us, still waiting, still us. I keep your bookmark in the novel by the bed, the one we read aloud when love still filled our heads. The ribbon's frayed and faded, but I can't move it on. Afraid the next page might prove that you're really gone. Sometimes I speak your lines when the silence gets too thick. Play both parts in the quiet, try to make the scene stick. But dialogue without reply is just a lonely art, a conversation with a ghost who tore himself apart. We could have tied the knot or cut the thread clean through. Instead we left it dangling, and me still tied to you. Unfinished us, a book with pages torn away, a melody that lingers but never learns to stay. No last line written, no the end in black and white. Just echoes in the margins where we lost the light. Unfinished us, the story that won't close. I have heard a whisper, only heartbreak knows. I still turn back to chapter where you walked out slow, hoping one day the ending finds its way to show. Unfinished us, still waiting, still maybe endings aren't supposed to feel this open wide. Maybe closure's just to make me tell to sleep at night. I don't need the final word, don't need the tidy bow. Just wish I knew if somewhere you still read it slow. Do you flip back to, do you pause at all I see? Or did you write your own epilogue, one without me? Unfinished us, it's not beautiful, it's not clean, but it's honest in the way only broken things can be. Unfinished us, no period, no full stop, no grace, just a comma hanging in the middle of the space. I'll leave the light on in the hallway door, cracked just a hair, in case the story circles back and finds me there. Unfinished us, the ache that never kitchen light was on too late that night. You stood by the sink, rinsing plates in quiet light. I watched your hands move slow, the same way they used to hold mine. And the three words I carried felt heavier than time. I opened my mouth, the air tasted sharp, like regret before rain. But fear wrapped around my throat and pulled them back. And you turned, smiled soft, asked if I wanted tea. And I said sure, instead of the truth burning in me. I thought there'd be more mornings, more evenings to try, more moments where courage would finally arrive. Unsaid I love you, it lives in the spaces between, in the pauses, the glances, the almost we've seen. It echoes in hallways when the house is asleep, a ghost of a feeling too heavy to keep. Unsaid I love you, now it's carved in my chest, a permanent silence I can't confess. I replay the seconds I let slip away, the words I never spoke, they're the price I still pay. Your jacket still hangs on the hook by the door. I touch the collar, sometimes breathe what's left of before. I practice this sentence alone in the car at red lights. I love you comes easy when no one's in sight. But back then with you standing so close, I could break. The words turned to stone, too much at stake. You left with the sunrise, no fight, no demand. And I stayed behind, holding the love in my hand. I thought silence was safer, thought holding back was safe, but silence just buried the heart I wanted to get. Unsaid I love you was in the spaces between, in the pauses, the glances, the almost we've seen. It echoes in hallways when the house is asleep, a ghost of a feeling too heavy to keep. Unsaid I love you, now it's carved in my chest, a permanent silence I can't confess. I replay the seconds I let slip away, the words I never spoke, they're the price I still pay. If I could go back to that one ordinary night, I'd grab your hand, pull you close on the kitchen light. I'd say a plain, no poetry, no fear, no game. I love you completely, I always have the same. But time doesn't bend for the cowards we become, and unsaid love stays forever unsung, undone. It doesn't fade with distance, doesn't die with goodbye. It just sits in the quiet, a permanent why. Unsaid I love you, unsaid I love you. distance on the sidewalk turned to stone. The way you lengthened your stride like you needed to be alone. I kept pace for a while, matching every hurried beat, but my legs felt heavy with words I couldn't repeat. You glanced at your watch and at the sky turning gray, and suddenly the distance between us grew in one sway. I called your name once, soft, almost a plea, but the wind carried it backward, away from me. I thought if I slowed down, you'd notice and wait. But slow and only made the gap feel like fate. You walked faster, left footprints I couldn't catch. Every step a goodbye, you didn't have to attach. No backward glance, no pause to explain, just the sound of your shoes on the wet city lane. You walked faster, and I stayed where I stood, watching the space between us grow like it should. You walked faster, and the world kept turning on, while I learned how to live with the echo. You're gone. The streetlights flickered on like they knew the scene, cast long shadows of us, yours stretching, mine clean. I could've run to close it, could've shouted your name, but pride or fear or love kept me in the same frame. Your silhouette blurred at the corner ahead, then vanished into the crowd, into the red. I stood there breathing the exhaust and the rain, still tasting the moments you chose not to remain. I replayed slow motion, search for the turn, the second I could have made the distance unlearned. You walked fast, left footprints I couldn't catch. Every step a goodbye, you didn't have to attach. No backward glance, no pause to explain, just the sound of your shoes on the wet city lane. You walked faster, and I stayed where I stood, watching the space between us grow like it should. You walked faster, and the world kept turning on, while I learned how to live with the echo. You're gone. Maybe you were running towards something brighter, something new. Maybe you were running from the weight of me and you. I don't blame the speed, people leave at their own pace. Some walk, some sprint, some vanish without a trace, but I still stand at that corner when the rain comes down hard, hoping one day you'll slow, or at least look back scarred. You walk faster, and I'm still lying in the eye. I'm standing still where the one I love is. You walk faster, you walked faster, and I stayed. I heard it today in a crowded cafe line. Someone called, hey, your name, and the world flatlined. My coffee cup slipped half an inch, burned my thumb, but the real scald came from inside. where you still come. I turned too fast, heart slamming like you remembered the way. You used to say your own name soft when we'd laugh and sway. It wasn't you, just a stranger with the same two syllables, but the sound still sliced clean through all my careful walls. I've tried to rename it in my head, call it the past, call it gone, but your name refuses translation, it only knows one song. Your name hurts like pressing on a bruise that never heals, a quiet knife that twists every time the sound reveals. It lives in strangers' mouths and songs on random play, in dreams that start sweet and end the same old way. Your name hurts, God, I wish it didn't still. Wish I could hear it casual and feel nothing at all, but every letter lands like shrapnel in the chest. Your name hurts, and I'm still not blessed with forgetting. I changed my phone alerts, muted every notification, but old voicemails wait in the archive like silent temptation. Sometimes I play one just to hear the way you breathe my name back, soft and certain, like it was the only word that ever mattered. Try. Now it's weaponized, a single syllable that can drive me to my knees, in the grocery aisle, on a subway, in the middle of peace. People ask why I flinch when someone says it loud. I smile and I'm nothing, just a ghost in the crowd. I've tried replacement, nicknames, initials, blank space on a tongue, but your name slips back in quiet like it knows where it belongs. Your name hurts, pressing on a bruise that never heals, a quiet knife that twists every time the sound reveals. It lives in strangers' mouths and songs on random play, and dreams that start sweet and end the same old way. Your name hurts, God, I wish it didn't still. Wish I could hear it casual and feel nothing at all, but every letter lands like shrapnel in the chest. Your name hurts, and I'm still not blessed with forgetting. Maybe one day it'll soften, become just a name again, not a loaded chamber, not a reopened vein. I'll hear it in a coffee shop and only smile small. And I feel the floor drop out, and I feel the rise and fall of everything we were crashing back in waves. Maybe time will send the edges turn as sharp to braves, but tonight your name is still a bruise I can't ignore, a tender, angry thing I keep coming back for. Your name hurts, and I let it, because it's still the sound of when I was lost.